Confessions. I do not write my own poetry. 1. I once had a conversation with a man who claimed he saw God in nature. I thought this was his way of being okay with the fact that his home was a bush, until I saw his soul within the drops of rain that landed on his palms like nails. They were outstretched towards oncoming traffic as if that crosswalk was the gates of heaven. He closed his eyes and begged for 5-cent prayers to land in his 5-cent cup that was worth more in its emptiness than all the full cups walking past him combined. I find poetry in hands like him. 2. I met a beautiful girl. She's all curves and corners. She is a forest. And I remember her with flower-stem fingers interlaced within the golden rivers that flute from her head. She is built like an old willow, strong, with words from friend and old lover imprinted along her skin, and I can only pray that I left a carving deep enough for her to want to find me again. We never had conversations about religion, but we have read Bible verses of ourselves to each other. I find poetry in hearts like her. 3. I know a musician. She closes her eyes and lets her soul dance along her tongue. These days, it's the only time I ever see her weightless. She is soul and shoelace, and she has more blind faith than anybody I've ever met. She points it at me with her bow and arrow smile. Her voice twings in E major. I hear her purple and red and blue. She has a splatter paint canvas voice, and I have heard it called jazz before. I find poetry in music like her. 4. I once played ball with a kid. You could trust him as far as you could throw him, and he weighed like 10 pounds. Red stitches along his arms, and light-skinned, he was a baseball. And his father was a bat. I remember him swinging a Louisville Slugger with his name etched along it, so when he became a home run, none of us were surprised. I see poetry in escapes like him. I do not write my own poetry. People with the light of something better within them do it for me. People like you do it for me.